Right, day two of the NZB tour, and we're back here at Brecon Farm. Phil Kennard joins me. Firstly, Phil, it's been an amazing couple of days, has it not?
Been a big couple of days. Seen some nice horses, nice types, and augurs well for mid-Feb sales.
It augurs well. It's probably a bit tricky for some people too, because I tell you, like, there is some lovely types right through the draft. Here on the North Island for a start, because we haven't done South Island. I haven't had a chance to look at it, but from start to finish of that sales catalogue.
Well, it's a problem when I run a little system in my diary, and I didn't get a whole lot of crosses out of the last 2 days. So it means a lot of work parade day and leading into the Auckland sale. But it's a good problem. Yeah. But it sorts itself out. It always does. By the time we go through the system, we'll probably not have enough on it.
It's interesting how it works. You've got so many people. We're just looking at a couple of photos, and all you guys, smart horse people, smart buyers, know what you're looking for, things along those lines, all might have your eye on a different horse, and you then get into the buses and you go to the next place. The tour is actually really cool, isn't it? Like, I mean, you probably bounce some ideas off people, ask them, what do you think of 60, or and get their feedback and things along those lines. When you might have your own ideas, but just interesting to hear other people's ideas and thoughts. Yeah,
it's interesting to see. I suppose that's why there's 300 odd horses catalogued, and all of them sell. Yep. So we all like different things. It's just, I watched one of our leading trainers pull a colt out and put it in. I couldn't see what was wrong with it, but he obviously didn't like it, so made me have an even better look at it. But I'll talk to a couple of other people in between times, because I'm no real expert. I mean, I still rely hugely on our trainers and vets. Yeah. So we don't buy anything that hasn't got their ticks first. So
that can be a ploy sometimes. They're like, everyone might be watching, I'll get it out a bit later on.
Highly likely, could be.
Highly likely. You've been having a great run, Marketplace. You must be thrilled. It's an interesting backstory. Like, you're flat out syndicating him, flat out getting the people involved in him. But you must have been wrapped. But what a run you had last year with him, especially towards the back end of the season. Oh,
it's been amazing. And it's, I think, particularly for Glennis and I, it's the fact that Regan had a big input into buying the horse. And then again, he's one of the last ones we brought and the hardest one to syndicate. So it's just funny how that actually works out. But for a young trainer or a guy, we're not, I won't sky you out too much being too young, Regan, but for a guy that's still finding his feet and learning the way through, to have a horse like Marketplace, and then he's got Moanga for us as well, that he's done an outstanding job for. That's probably the satisfying part than with Marketplace. It's what he's done for him. And it's interesting, I've had several people tap me on the shoulder and ask me, if you're syndicating horses with Regan, will you give us a buzz? Yep. So you can just see the profile and the professionalism and the good job, what that actually does for these young guys. And he works hard, like everybody in this industry. No one's successful in this industry without working hard, but it's just good to see that leg up that's actually been given, or not given, but he's actually done and achieved himself. We can give him the product, but he's still got to do something with that product.
His professionalism, I don't have a chat with him, and if you're watching this and you haven't seen it, go back and watch it. I mean, his journey last year was an amazing one. Like, he buggered off, I suppose is the only way to put it. He just checked out and said, I'm out of here. And some people probably think, you can't go away, you can't leave the wheel and things like that. I think he said he had 7 winners before he went. No one will remember that, because the last part of his season was outstanding. He went off and watched badminton, and it's not a bloody racket game, it's a jumping game, and things like those. Just checked out. He's come back a new man, and really understands the direction that he wants to go to.
Yeah, I think that's the big thing, is to, you get someone that works as hard as people that work as hard as their trainers do. They've got to learn that they've actually got to have time off to refresh this, particularly. And he was really a tired individual, like leading into the autumn last year. Yeah. And when I watched him, I went and seen him the week after he come back, and his whole attitude was just different. Yeah. And he was looking forward to it. The team hadn't had that great a run while he was away. In fact, his father was panicking that they hadn't won a race till the weekend before he got home. Yep. So, but then look at the run they had from there. So, and it's no different to any business. The results are showing from your team and what they've done while he's been away when you're actually back. Yep. So he's got a good group there. There's some really good horse people, and that care about what they're doing, and he's certainly trimmed down the ship quite a bit with horse numbers and realise that it's not all about just lining up every week with 8 or 10 horses. He's got quality now, not quantity on his mind, which is a good thing to have. So, yeah, let's just fingers crossed he goes the right way with it.
It's a pretty important thing. I mean, we're promoting next gen and so many other things about getting younger people into the game, but we've just got to be aware too, like there's so many young people I've interviewed, some, Tommy Baggery, Bobby Butt, Timmy White, there's a few others that I've interviewed that have been on the bus, they're here, they're doing the hard yards and things like that, but they probably need to just make sure they, every now and then, just sit back in that saddle, just check the horse back up and just make sure that they've got all their bearings and all their faculties going the right way and enjoy this great sport that we have, but don't burn themselves out.
Yeah, correct, because, it's like, it doesn't matter where you work or what industry you're in. If you get burned out, you make bad calls, and the freshness is really important. So learning to take time off is the key to it. But also, there's lots of other. It's interesting. You talk about trainers on the trip. They all interact with one another. They all give each other a bit of stick. It's a real feel-good industry when you actually see these guys how they all work together and they care about one another. But it's just a funny game because they compete every week against each other, but yet they're all great mates. So it's good. It makes me feel good as an owner and an investor in the business that you actually watch that camaraderie, and people freely give you advice. I mean, I can ask somebody that's never trained a horse from us a question, and they'll always help me out. So that's good.
Yeah, and that's what it's about. Horses got to have fun. Your great mate Ken and Karen. This place here. One, state of the art. We don't have to sell it too much. It's just an amazing part. But one of the great infectious parts about him, and I'll put my hand up, he pays me to promote his product. There's no problems there. They're infectious. They want to grow this sport. They've had so many great people here today, so much positivity. The sport is in a positive way. We've just got to make sure that people come along for the ride and enjoy it, don't we?
Oh, 100%. Let's just focus on the glass half full stuff, Glennis and I were both here last year, the day after the sales, when the bulldozers arrived, and you think we're not, we're just 11 months from when it all happened. I just said a story of building 6 two-storey townhouses in Christchurch at the moment. They're going to take as long as it took to build 2 barns this size, really, and it makes you just look at just how good a team they had around them. But I give it to Ken and Karen. They did a lot of planning, a lot of thought. We had a lot of discussions not only up here when we come to stay, but when they were at home with us over different things. They had a huge amount of help from a lot of people. But as I've said to Ken and Karen, you get back what you give out. They give a huge amount out to anybody, and if they'll be the first people to step up and help someone if they're in a bit of a sticky spot. So it was just nice to see how it all come together for them. But it's like, you go to war, you've got to do the planning. You spend 9 months of the year doing the planning, and 3 months at war, you normally have a pretty good result. So and they got the result they deserve, and it's a facility just. When I first walked in it and I'd watched it progress over the 9-10 months, my jaw dropped. I just couldn't believe it, how good it was. The
enormity of it, a lot of people are going to come here and they're going to go, holy dolly. We show videos, we show pictures, just isn't going to do it justice. And I said to Nigel there, this is world class. This is anyone, doesn't matter if you're an American, French, Sweden, doesn't matter where you are. When you come here, you're going to go, wow. And it's so great for harness racing, so great for New Zealand harness racing, because people are prepared to invest heavily in the sport. It's got to give. Those guys I said there before, Timmy Whites, Bobby Butts, all these young blokes, Carter Delgatti, like his young bloke got the world at his feet. He could go to America, but he's probably better off staying here when you see this sort of money being invested into the sport. You said there before about syndicating horses and buying horses. You're going to buy horses again this year?
Yes, we will be. Yeah, Glennis and I, we're pretty organised with our groups. We'll be having a good look at both Auckland and Christchurch. So we've still got the Christchurch tours to do, and then I'll look at the Southland horses just leading up to sales day. So looking forward to it.
People can get involved if they want.
We can. Yeah, we're always talking to people. Yeah, so we don't syndicate into minor shares. That's the key part of it. Because we drive it, Glennis and I, and so we've got to use the KISS principle, keep it super simple. So, if it doesn't work under their model, we don't want to know about it, really.
It's Campbell's Commons model as well, don't you worry about that. Phil, thank you for joining me. Well done last year with Marketplace Mo'unga as well. I think they both come back up here in April, so hopefully I'm back here for that. And the run you're having with those horses, but as well from our NZB point of view, thanks for investing. And hopefully you're investing again this year. I think it's we need more people like yourself driving it and being positive. So well done, and thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks, Paul. Thanks so much, and thanks for all the good work you do.
Where'd you get that jacket? I haven't got one of those either.
pinched it one day when it was wet a few years ago.
I got to get myself one of those, James Jennings, if you're still watching it. Thanks, mate.
Thank you. Thanks very much.